Welcome back for more arms. It's time to play as Misango, or should I say, Star Platinum! Bottom tier. Doesn't matter. Actually, it's more like middle tier, I guess. I think. Live from the temple grounds, the history, the saga, the experience of the Arms Grand Prix is upon us. And who else will be here sharing this action-packed event but you, buddy Biff? In the spotlight today, we have the wielder of a mystical woven power, Misango. With the help of his spectre-like pal, Misango shows his great strength with a kaleidoscope of color. He's fighting in the Grand Prix to show the world the power of the Misangan fighting technique. Ladies and gents, this is going to be a Grand Prix for the books, and it's about to start. Oh, I know that stage! I know that stage! Playing Bark? Match 1, on your feet. It's Misango versus the Clockwork Cops, Bite and Bark. Some folks think it's unfair that these two get to fight as a team. But Misango has his own kind of backup in a fight. That's Spiraling Cord by his side. Maybe this will be a fair match after all. The anticipation is killing me. Let's get started. So yeah, Misango, his special ability is that he has a spirit buddy. He's got his own stand. I didn't know stands could have stands. And if you charge, you get knocked over by Bite and Bark. If you do a full charge, you get to equip the mask. And also equip it by turning it into a pillar by blocking. And dashing into it. Jeez, Bite and Bark is... Bite is just so... full pressure. I'm not prepared for this. I need to talk about Misango's abilities. Okay. Darn. Yeah, Spirit Buddy, who unfortunately does not have a name, so we just have to keep calling him Spirit Buddy, or whatever you want to call him. Misango's Spirit Thing. Misango's Stand. That woven guy. Ow. Probably not ow, that's probably not applicable. Maybe my arm selection was not the best starting off. Yeah, take that, dingus. Die! 'Twas I who was the dingus. Okay. Let's try to be a little bit more forceful then. See if I can get the mask on. There we go. Okay, so red mask basically makes you Master Mummy, except not quite as extreme. You get the same ability of super armor whenever you basically do any action. And your arm girth goes up, but your speed goes down. I like to think that was a pretty smart move I just did there. His grab strength also goes up. So yeah, basically Master Mummy, except without the healing. I really gotta focus here. No, not the illusion! No, my arms! Ow! Okay, stay out of the circle. No, no, no circle for you. No! It's mine. Okay, I should get some distance. Get the mask back on. Avoid his rush. Aww! Aww! If I didn't have the reduced mobility from the red mask, I probably would have gotten away from that. Okay, Bark is down. That's just what I gotta do. I just gotta make sure I get Bark down. I gotta bounce my Glusher into him. Which, yeah, Glusher basically just poison Blorb. Which I'm sure probably has some pretty good strategic abilities with its bouncing arc and, you know, being one of the only 3 poison arms in the game. Get out here. And then we have the Scully on the other arm, which is kind of the opposite of the Glusher. It's the lightweight, fast, good at poking. Ow. Okay, I almost got this. Okay, technical victory. I win by decision. Whose decision? Not mine. If it were my decision, I would have got KO. But I can't enforce my own decisions here because I'm having a bad time against Bite and Bark. Because that's what happens. You know what? This worked. Let's just do it again. The blue mask is your speed mask, which apparently also adds the ability. You know, it doesn't. Not only does it increase your dashing abilities, but it also gives you the ability to instantly dash after landing from a jump. which I didn't actually know about until today. I was reading the wiki, and I don't remember reading that part before about how you can do that dash, but yeah, he's apparently got that dash. An instant dash from landing, so you know, your jumping is less predictable, which is cool because the blue mask basically makes you play like Rhythm Girl or Ninjara. Whoa. But, you know, without any of their traits, except I'm now realizing he gets his own unique trait for, you know, becoming that class of character. You know, unlike becoming another heavyweight here, where he doesn't have any abilities, it's basically just a less extreme Master Mummy, which I'm sure has its power, you know, its strength to that idea of not being as big or as, well, I guess I can't say not as defensive, because it's, you know, it's literally the same super armor ability, just without the healing ability that Master Mummy comes with, or without Mechanica's mobility. But, you know, that's kind of what you do when you make classes of characters. Is, you know, here's, you know, that's what separates a fighter, you know, from being just a weaker warrior, is that the fighter also has, like, the armor of a knight, basically. It's like the in-between. Or sometimes they have magic, I don't know, it depends on the game. Which is the fun thing about designing RPG parties, and probably the reason why I like to do that just for fun, is you could just take bits and pieces and throw them together, and it's like, oh, here's a mage, but he's got armor, and he can use lances. Misango versus around the Bomberman, whose spin kicks are famous for knocking the wind out of her enemies. But has she ever tried using them on an ethereal entity like Misango's companion? Well, this is first time for everything, folks. Keep your eyes glued to that screen. Okay, but, like, does the glue come with a solvent? Because I don't want to permanently glue to the screen. That sounds painful. I've used super glue before. I've super glued my fingers. It hurts. It's not fun. I probably shouldn't be using the red mask for this. I should probably be speed. But it's working out. So Misango has the ability, since he can basically just switch between the different classes of characters. Plus he has a special third mask that gives him even more access to even more unique traits unique to him. Aha! He's also able to switch between, you know, basically Master Mummy and basically Ninjara. So he can match an opponent with their weakness. Which I guess, I don't know that I don't know that a heavyweight character... I guess that would be Min Min's weakness here. Because she's weak to pressure, because she wants time to get that arm. So she can't deal as well with someone who's going to be up in her face. So yeah, that's probably the right idea there. I was just doing it because it was the first mask I got. Okay, let's show off the yellow mask, which reduces your grab distance and I think lowers your speed a bit, but see if I can find a good opportunity for it. I'll just say it while I wait for the opportunity to show up. It makes your rush feel faster, and when you do go for a rush, you're temporarily invincible, which is that little barrier that was around me. I was trying to punch there and it wasn't working. I don't know why it wasn't. Aw, man, she got it. And then she lost it. This predictable rush. So when you're using two dragons, you can't rush with them both at the same time unless you know it's gonna hit. So Misango's strength comes from not only being able to match the situation as needed, or I think that's more supposed to be on a fighter-to-fighter basis rather than moment-to-moment basis. But I suppose if your opponent is being predictable, or if they're predicting you too much, you could probably switch playstyles to something that they're not expecting or not used to, because they haven't gotten used to you playing that style. But you also have the yellow mask to scare your opponent with the idea of an invincible rush, which can also lead to them acting predictably and you punishing them for that. Match 3, brace yourself. Let's mix it up and play some hoops. Some hoops. Those Scullies. 2 Scullies. I think the Scullies are the fastest arm in the game. I could be wrong about that. But I think they are designed to be the fastest arms. And... Man, definitely... I haven't recorded in a bit. I'm a little rusty here. I'm rusty with the idea of talking and playing this on 7 at the same time. Have I even talked about the poison element yet? It gives you damage over time, and it can give you change the damage over time from 1 every whatever ticks to 2, and then a maximum of 3. And it also gives you your opponent, like every time, I think it's every time the damage ticks up, they briefly stop, even with the extension of their arms. So it can kind of be given to give you used to give you a little bit of a window of opportunity to get them. Yeah, why is my trigger not working? What are you doing? It's mildly concerning that that's happening. These are new Joy-Cons. They're the white ones too, so they shouldn't be, having the known issues of, they're supposedly the new generation of Joy-Cons that don't have drift. It would suck if they end up having a shoulder button problem. Oh man! The Scullies, by the way, are also the only single-shot lightweight arm in the game. So that's finally interesting. Not bad. It's Misango versus the Grim Creeper Master Mummy. With his overwhelming power and bulk, he's smashed countless opponents over the years. Misango may not have an advantage when it comes to size, but his spiritual side gives him an edge. Rumor has it, he gets real tough when his Guardian Spear sees red. Not sure what that means, but okay. Well, I've only used it in like every fight, and would hope you would have noticed. So Master Mummy is pressure, so I'm gonna assume that I want something that can escape from that pressure. So let's go Blue Mask. And not get hurt by his Phoenix while I try to put it on. Which I did, which is cool. Now, here's the... I guess it is the last arm to Misango's set that I haven't talked about yet. The Scorpio. It's one of those arms that's different, depending on if you're on the ground or in the air when you punch with it. Quote-unquote punch, it's not really a glove. You're not really punching... Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright then, give me... Not red. So there's it on the ground, it crawls along. I'm not really sure what the strategy is to hitting with it there. I guess it's more of like a homing arm that doesn't fly like the homie, so it's a little harder to see coming. But I don't really know what the strategy is to actually getting it to land. So I like to jump and use the curving attack pattern. I find that lands easier. So you can't touch this. I'm too fast for you. Your arms are too slow. Get him? Okay, yep, I did, but super armor, that's fine. Get him with the throw, grab, whatever word you want to use. Not trying it out, but I bet I could get him. Excuse me. Maybe I'll knock him out with my noxious breath. Nope. And you can see the Scully has not quite good curving. I mean, I suppose relatively, but yeah, not exactly the best at curving. Which is actually what the Arms Wiki recommends goes well with him. I say more than any other fighter, Misango needs to have his loadouts cover situations. But other than that, curving arms work well for poking behind the shield, which the Spear Buddy can provide if you block for a few seconds. Alright, let's go toe-to-toe. Big guy to... Never mind. Gotcha. Whoa! That felt like a good rush. I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but I'm gonna die. Well, I immediately got punished for my hubris, I suppose. Can you even call that hubris if I was just like, yeah, I think I did pretty good there? Alright. Scorpio Scully. Blue mask. Let's go. I suppose poison would be one of those elements that heavyweight characters are more or less weak to. Actually, didn't I say before? I was like, oh, that's not true. They're weak to basically every element because it's like the only one they can resist is stun, because all others would knock them down, which nullifies their super armor. Pretty sure. But yeah, even if you don't get a knockdown with poison, obviously if you apply the poison, that's gonna go somewhere. So yeah, with the twos. The Arms Wiki also says, like, with the idea of the yellow mask is to be constantly poking. Ow. So you can build up your rush. So even if you miss, you still get some of that rush energy. So it's gonna be like that then, huh? Like I say, I'm playing on 7. Aren't you lower on the tier, Master Mummy? What are you bragging about? Well, probably the fact that he beat someone who's higher on the tier. It doesn't matter, it's the playstyle that matters. Kicked his butt. That's only round 1. Can't brag. What the faff? Why is he so mobile now? Oh, come on. Taking a gamble here, but let's see how well double clusters goes against double megawatts. Saved you from the bomb! I should have sent them both out at once. Get out of my healing circle! This is my circle! No mummies allowed! I'm sorry, that was offensive. Take that! Yeah! It's so much more satisfying that it was a full knockout instead of a technical victory. It only took me like 20 minutes. I don't actually know how long, but yeah, this recording is gonna go long because of that. And hopefully I don't have the same problems here with Mechanica. Match 5, halfway there. It's Misango versus the Mechanica. Having grown up in a remote corner of the world, Misango's not what you would call tech-savvy. How will that impact his strategy when taking on this little lady in her hefty metal suit? Let's see. I think we're gonna go Scorpio and Scully. Try to utilize those moments of weakness she has with a nice, easy to hit with Scorpio here, and the Scully for when it's more straightforward. And I realized while fighting Master Mummy that I think part of the Scorpio's strategy with being on the ground is more a pressure tool, because there was a moment where I was like, oh hey, the Scorpio going, crawling towards Master Mummy meant he didn't want to try to go for a grab like Mechanica just did, because it would probably get him and knock him out of the grab. Invincible Rush! Apparently not invincible to explosions. Oh, come on. Well, if I get stuck here, I'll be fine with that, because this at least feels more dynamic than Master Mummy. Kipto was just avoiding my punches, and me being incompetent at dodging his. It's really frustrating. But I'd like to think I can read Mechanica better than I can read Master Mummy. So, hopefully we won't be stuck here. Ipsy slowly crawls up on her, threatening her. Even if it doesn't hit her, it's still like, oh, well, here it comes, you better look out. It'd probably be good against Min Min, too, to keep her from charging her, full dragon. I would assume the same out of Springtron as well, but that's... I find that whenever you threaten Springtron, he just gets the full shockwave anyway and just knocks your arms down. Because, oh, that counts as your arms being out while the shockwave is going, so it counts. It's gonna get your arms knocked down. And I also remembered another thing that I'm not sure if I ever talked about, and if I did, well, you just have to forgive me for repeating myself, because I've been recording these for, like, I want to say a month now, but that's probably not true. But probably about that time, a little while. Anyway, shut up. It's Rush. So you generate Rush not only from punching with your arms and blocking, and I think taking damage, but also when you charge. So you can gain a little bit of Rush by just doing a full charge. Which, speaking of, I didn't mean for that to transition, but it kind of does transitions into my next... The next thing I want to talk about with Misango is that that's kind of his weakness, I feel, is that full charging puts the mask on and takes the mask off. Ah, shoot it. I lost that second. Because I was like, oh, I should get a full charge instead of just waiting on the timer. The full charge will also take the mask off, which, if you're used to getting a full charge every time you go for a charge, it can, it can mess up your strategy, because, oh, now you lost your mask, you gotta get it back, you gotta wait for the color to change, and you gotta get it back on, if your opponent will even let you. And the same thing for blocking. You can't block too long or else you lose your mask. And sure, you can dash into the pillar, but that's a predictable thing. So you don't want to do it all the time. Only if you know your opponent isn't ready for you to do that. Let me stay at more of a distance and poke. Because she certainly isn't using a poking tool, at least I don't think. I'm not equipped for distances. I'm not exactly equipped for distances either. I get tired from long car rides. I start to feel a little car sick, and then sometimes I get anxious. I used to be good at long car rides, and then I don't know what happened. Anxiety, I guess. But yeah, I feel like Misango would be a stronger character if if you had to commit to the masks more and couldn't take them off, or at least if one of the options for putting them or taking the mask off was changed. Okay, yep. The mask does not protect against explosions, just direct attacks. Alright, good to know. Yeah, I think he would be a lot stronger if it was harder for him to take off the mask himself, because it would require you to commit more to whatever mask you chose. Now, granted, I suppose the flexibility is part of his strengths, but I don't know. Maybe people who are Misango mains are used to not, you know, getting enough charge for what they need, but not so much charge that they lose the mask. You know, blocking only long enough to, you know, defend yourself and not lose your mask. Bob and weave. Let's change it up, play some V-ball. There's no bobbing or weaving involved in V-ball. You just hit the ball. Come on, red mask, why not? I should actually have the blue mask on. We're gonna argue for mask preference here. If I can get a moment, I want to see if I can do that instant dash. I think he has to be charged to do it. Okay, maybe it's not instant. Maybe I'm just expecting it to be instant. Oh, that felt pretty cool. Whatever I did there. Maybe it was just jumping and I haven't been noticing the mask effects in my jump. No, you don't. It's hard to do, but you can... doing a grab on the V-ball makes it go spiral. And if you hit it at a particular point in that spiral, I think it's when it flashes. It'll have a little flash animation. Not like flash animation, but you know. And if you hit it right then, it'll spike the ball. But it's, you know, obviously your opponent is not going to let you do that if you set up for it with a grab. So it's probably much easier to do in multiplayer. And maybe even more meant as a multiplayer thing. But anyway, hey, it's Misango, lead on. It's Misango versus the Heiress, Ribbon Girl. Here on this concert stage, our fighters are surrounded by bright lights and an undulating floor. How will Misango fare with all the glitz and glamour? I guess well, but let's see. Undulating floor, jeez. It's such a gross word. Like, when I think undulating, I think Jabu Jabu's belly. I don't think a floor that can raise and lower with blocks that digi-struct out of nowhere. Whoa! Didn't mean to grab, I just accidentally hit both triggers at once. Yeah, I've actually changed controllers, because while I was fighting Master Mommy, it felt like I was having troubles with my inputs. So I just wanted to change controllers just to be safe. You know, I'm not going to pull a John and blame the controller. Man, it is unfortunate that the guy who's known for making excuses when he loses at Smash was named something as common as John. Because I can think of at least 2 or 3 Johns where it's like, you know, that would... Calling excuses a John just feels really rude to the Johns that don't make excuses. It's like Proton John. I know he's a fair person, you know, not inclined to just blaming everything else but himself when he loses. I mean, like, he's known for bad luck, so like when he loses at Mario Party, it's like, yeah, it's probably just his luck. But he's not gonna blame the controller. I can tell that much. Aha! You thought you were gonna spark me, but instead, I rushed. Wait. Gotcha. I like how the tail to the Scorpio kind of looks like a pen tip, like one of those old style pens. A pen that I'm too young to have ever used. Too young to even know what it's really called, I guess. Not that I've never heard of, like, rotary phones or fax machines. But those are also something I've never used myself. Which I'm thankful for that. Rotary phones sound like a pain. But even if my house actually had a rotary phone when I was young, who was I gonna call? Ghostbusters? Somehow I feel like a Ghostbusters reference does not sync up with rotary phones. I think Ghostbusters probably was made after rotary phones went out of style. Oh man, she blocked. Okay, fine. Do I look like I'm afraid of Ribbon Girl right now? You can't tell because I don't have a face cam, and I don't think I ever will. So I want it to be more about the game. Like, I know a Let's Play has to be your thing. You know, you have to make it yours. You can't just... It can't be all about the game. You gotta put some personal flavor in there. Which I am with my stream of consciousness while playing here. Which, again, not to pat myself on the back, but I'm kind of amazed at my ability. My own ability to talk while playing. At least for this Let's Play. And I blame / think that on my ability to just keep talking, my stream of consciousness ability. What was I saying before? That completely trailed off. It's like John's something, I don't know. Oh, it's the Snake Park. This is unfortunate because I figure if this shows up, I'm probably going to get stuck here as well because of Kid Cobra's evasiveness. Thread the needle. It's Misango versus the Speed Teaming, Kid Cobra. And he takes to his home stage like a fish to water, or a snake to a terrarium? Anyway, I can't wait to see how Misango handles those snake boards. Can he pull out a victory? I hope not. Now let's go double Scorpios. I feel like we're gonna do a good job of hitting him. We can keep him off the snake boards, and oh, he's starting off not going on a snake board. Well, okay. I accept your challenge of no snake boards this round. Oh, well, never mind for that. Figures he would go back on. Figures I would let him. I don't know if I would go on a snake board if I actually had the chance to ride one of those. I remember one time there was someone I knew who had one of those. Really like, I want to say it's called a ripstick or something like that. One of those kind of skateboard things, and I could not get the hang of it. He let me try. I had no idea what I was doing, and I don't know that I even would now. Dang. Darn it. I mean, I bet a snakeboard is way different, because it's basically just a big top. You stand on it and balances for you and stuff. So I bet it would be fun. I guess I'd give it a try. Now that I put it that way. I also remember one time I went to a skate park with my Heelys, because I'm not brave enough to go down a ramp with an actual skateboard. But it was apparently enough for my Heelys, and it was fun. Yeah, I couldn't do any of the big ramps, too scared for those. But, you know, the kind of medium-sized half-pipes, those were fun. I miss my Heelys, honestly. But I'm A, too old for them now, and B, it's just... Every time I'd use them, there would be someone who's like, hey, you can't use those in here. You're gonna scuff the floor, and you're gonna run into someone. It's like, yeah, I get their concern, but, like, I don't know. It's like they were trying to parent me, and it's like, I'm not your kid. You're not my dad. It's like, I don't think either time I've had someone say that. Like, oh, you're gonna scuff the floor. It's like, I don't think either time it was someone who actually worked there. It's just, you know, one of those kinds of people. You know, the kind of person. Or maybe you don't. I'm not even sure I do. Uh-oh. But yeah, I just miss gliding around on my Heelys. It was satisfying. The speed and I don't think I've ever actually come close to running into someone. And I don't know that actually was scuffing the floors, so boo to the people who were trying, oh, you can't do that in here. Again, I get the idea, the concern of running into someone, but I think I was smart enough to slow down when there were people around, or when there was a corner coming up, you know, so I wouldn't be blindsided by someone. Like, it was only when I would only ever go particularly fast when I knew the path was clear, and I knew there was no chance of someone popping around a corner. It's like, sure, I was a teenager, but I wasn't stupid. We're on the semifinal. I would say already, but I've been recording for almost 50 minutes now. Match 1, one stitch away. It's Misango versus the student of stealth, Ninjara. The front steps of the storied ninja college will be the stage for this battle. Misango's had to travel far from home to participate in this fight. I wonder if he's happy to be squeezing in a little sightseeing during the competition. I know I am. Let's get to it, shall we? Excuse me. Yeah, now that I think about it, why is this the ninja college stage? Why is the front steps the ninja college? Like, I guess we're not allowed inside, so that's probably why we're not in, like, their training grounds or something. But I feel like a training grounds would make more sense. Although, actually, now that I think about it times 2, it's like, well, I guess that would be just, you know, Spring Stadium, but with ninja set dressing. Could be cool for a stage in ARMS 2. Yeah, I don't know that they've ever actually... I don't think you could consider any of the stages we have to have any traps. Not directly, you know, not with items turned off. Like, it's... All the stages, you know, with the exception of, like, Snake Park, are all about the terrain. And pillars. And some sort of punch-blocking thing that you can dash behind. That'll probably break after 3 punches. Whoa! So I don't know if they did do a Ninja Training Ground stage. Would it just be Spring Stadium with, like, some training dummies as pillars? Would that be enough to work? I would say no, because I feel like this stage is a lot more unique because it's sloped, rather than a flat surface with some pillars. Because even Helix's stage, which the name escapes me at the moment, it's not flat. It's more like a rectangle where the center starts to dip, and then you have the pillars on the outside of the dip. So I don't know if... I mean, you could probably put like a dirt mound in the middle. Maybe some platforms that can only be stood on by jumping, or maybe they have ramps on the corners. Or not the corners, like the outside. Maybe I can draw it. That'd be cool. Although last time I remember saying, yeah, I'm gonna draw that put it up in the Let's Play, and then I didn't. It was like Luigi's Mansion 3 when I had an idea of, like I was gonna share my idea of what I expected the ghost on the pirate themed floor to look like. No, you don't. That is a little weird, although maybe not so much weird. I think it's interesting that this stage is more... Sorry, I'm wiping my nose with the tissue because it's kind of a little runny. That this stage is more traditional based for Ninja. Like clearly, there's advanced technology in this universe. You know, you have the Scorpios. I would expect Ninjara to have something like that. You know, well, maybe not as a fighter, but at least, you know, I would expect the Ninja College to be maybe more advanced in technology. So maybe for, you know, a training grounds version of a Ninjara stage, they could have, like, training robots and, you know, technology-based hazards. Maybe it could be like Ribbon Girl stage, where parts of the stage just are digi-structed in as the fight goes on. Basically having the Ninja Training Grounds be a holodeck. Which I would expect if you have that Ribbon Girl, you know, Ribbon Ring technology, why would the Ninja not be using it for their training scenarios? Aha! I successfully baited you. But yeah, I guess that could be the thing with the ninja colleges. Maybe it looks all traditional on the outside, but on the inside, it's cool technology that they use for training. Makes you wonder if Ninjara gets access to any advanced you know, advanced technology when he succeeds in becoming a ninja. Like, sure, he's a student now, so maybe he's stuck to the traditional methods. You know, smoke bombs. And, you know, I guess smoke bombs aren't necessarily something that's gone out of fashion. Like, if you create a cloud of smoke, that's a successful way to, you know, confuse your opponent and perhaps get away. Like Batman. Batman's basically a technology-based ninja. And he still uses smoke bombs. So, yeah. Here we are, the grand finale. You're a liar! It's not against Max Braz! There you go, now you're telling the truth. Alright, I think I'm gonna go Scully's for this. Because she's so evasive. Yeah, there we go. You can't take the pressure, can you? Maybe I can't either. I should be careful. Nope. Bad read. Uh-oh. No! My healing circle, no! You know, I'm just thinking a joke like, you know, if Smash Bros is such a great game, how come it doesn't let you play as its boss characters? It's like, you know, ARMS lets you play as the boss characters. Street Fighter lets you play as the boss characters. Other fighting games probably do. I think Dead or Alive does. It's like, why is Smash Bros the only one that doesn't have a mode where you get to play as the boss? Like, not although the other fighting games, I said, you know, not like those have, you know, play as the boss modes. Like, it's literally just, oh, you just go into versus and there you go, there's the boss. Playable character. Maybe they don't have the same strengths they have when they're a boss. You know, like ARMS. But, you know, at least there's a way. It's just, that was a rant I got on a stream the other night. Was like, people say Smash 4 is the worst Smash Bros. Because it lacks content. But I don't understand, and I should probably be actually looking at what modes both games have before I get on this rant again and have even more egg on my face for being wrong, if I am wrong. You know, if it's easy to prove me wrong. But it feels like Smash Ultimate only has basically the same amount of modes. Because, you know, there's the World of Light, which was the selling point. It's like, oh, it's story mode, except it's just event mode, which Smash 4 has. And then what other modes does it have? It has, like, Classic mode, which every Smash Bros. Has had, so of course it has Classic. And then you just think about what modes is it missing. It's missing a formal event mode. Oh, I thought I had her there. It's missing... Like, I don't think it has stadium events, like Break the Targets or the Sandbag. That's one I feel confident I'm probably wrong about. So I will preface that. Or, I guess I said that after the fact, so it's not a preface. Is it a post-face, I guess? Good luck, Misango. The power of the Misanga wants you to knock her out. And I know for a fact that Smash Ultimate actually got rid of Coin Battle, which, you know, despite my name, is not a mode I used a lot. But how can people say that has more content than Smash 4 when it actively removed a mode and glorified another mode as, ooh, and look, it's story mode! And you can't say fighters, because we're specifically talking about modes as content, not fighters as content. Because of course Smash Ultimate is going to win in which game has the most fighters. Because it's literally all the fighters plus new fighters. So it's not a fair argument. Ha! Oh, oh. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look that up because Smash Ultimate is not my game. It's my brother's game. It's the game he got, and I don't play it because, like, I burnt out on Smash Bros. With Smash 4, so I had no interest in Ultimate. Especially because a lot of the fighters don't interest me personally either. It's like, oh, Simon Belmont is, oh, finally some Castlevania representation. And like, what does that matter to me, who has never completely played a Castlevania game in my life? Like, sure, I've tried them, but I haven't, like, actually seriously played them. And it's not really something that's particularly up my alley, where it's like, oh man, I definitely want to give that a try. You know, not like Doom Eternal. Although I say that, like, I would have particularly cared about the Doom Slayer either. But that was another rant I got on. I was like, yeah, how come people are always like, man, but, you know, we gotta have, you know, Kazuya and Terry from King of Fighters because they're historically important. We need historical representation. Yeah, well, what about all the historical, you know, shooters that have been out there? Why does Smash Bros. Only have to celebrate the fighting games? Was it because it's easy to port them into being a fighter? I'd argue that makes them worse candidates because it makes them less interesting fighters because they're literally, oh, it's just the guy who can punch and kick, except now he's punching and kicking in Smash Bros. Instead of punching and kicking in Tekken. Like, it was a cute idea when it was Ryu. Like, oh, he plays just like he does in Street Fighter if you did inputs like this. But after 2 or 3 more fighters, it's like, okay, but why? You know, when you set aside the, oh, but they were historically important games. Yeah, well, you know what else is historically important? Doom. Where's Doom representation? Where's literally one of the most iconic shooters ever that, like, basically every other shooter is using as groundwork? I mean, oh wow. Not a great rush, but I still got her. But, oh man, I was just about to say, got yourself with that, huh? Just about to say that's like, man, I'm really feeling that headlock is easier than Coil herself. You know, without headlock. Sans headlock. Yeah, I guess that's why I really don't care that much about Ultimates. But, again, it's like the content argument I don't get. It's like, fine, if you want to say, oh, Smash Ultimate's the best one because it has this fighter and that fighter, like, okay, fine. I really like that they had Min Min. I think Min Min is the best fighter that game added. Not because I have a bias because of ARMS, because I'm a big ARMS fan, but because her moveset is both very representative of how she plays in that game, but it also adds a new, unique angle that most fighters don't have. You could argue, like, she has, you know, oh, she's got a lot of reach. It's just like Corrin. Okay, but who else? Like, who else has that amount of reach in their Smash moves? In their Smash attacks? While also being very true to what they're like in their game. With, you know, available attacks. And the mechanics. That's the thing that makes me not care about, like, Terry or Kiryu is like, okay, but where's their special traits? Oh, they play just like in their fighting game. Oh, that's their special trait, is that you can quarter circle forward a move instead of pressing B and forward. Like, I feel like Min Min is a fighter who could make you care about ARMS because of how unique and interesting she is in Smash Bros. But I do not feel that way about Terry or Kazuya, because it's just, oh, it's just a fighting game character that could have come from literally any fighting game in that style. Ah. Aha! I didn't know I could do that, but that was pretty neat. I'm probably gonna lose. But yeah, I guess I'm just a big old sourpuss when it comes to Smash Bros. Because I just don't care about the crossover elements. So I really only care about fighters with interesting movesets. It's like, that's probably why I feel like Smash 4 was the best one, was because most, if not all, of the new fighters had really new and fresh movesets. Even if, like, maybe mildly similar to someone else. Ah, man. Like, when I think of Smash 4, I think of Mega Man and Wii Fit Trainer and Little Mac, who maybe aren't necessarily all completely new concepts, but are just so well done. And you know, like, Wii Fit Trainer is kind of weird, but in a good way. I still remember that time that the Runaway guys were playing Smash Bros. For video, and Proton John did the "Let's stretch our legs" taunt just to be funny, and it ended up making an attack go over him. Like, that's hilarious. And all the little details in Mega Man's moveset. It's like, even for me, as someone who doesn't understand all the references behind each weapon, it's still cool that every attack he uses is a different Robot Master weapon. And then when he dies, he does his little, you know, he explodes into bits. It's little details that even me, as someone who's not a Mega Man fan, can appreciate. Whereas, like, you go to Simon Belmont, it's like, oh, well, what's his special trait? Oh, he can do the little wimpy whip like he can do in the video game? And his specials are projectiles. Wow. No one has ever had projectiles for a special move. What next? An anime sword fighter? Oh, wait! Sorry, I don't mean to sound so salty there. It's like being very sassy about, like, the anime sword fighter thing. But it was the anime sword fighter. It wasn't just a anime sword fighter. It was the anime sword fighter. It's like that commercial that's... This whole premise is like, oh, you don't just want a car, you want the car. That's why our rental cars are better. Now I feel like I'm spending too much energy talking, not enough focusing on beating Coil Headlock. I've totally jinxed myself, like, oh man, Coil Headlock is so much easier than Coil. Just gotta focus. There's no timer, so I can just focus on avoiding attacks and getting what openings I can without getting countered. Without getting countered. Aha! Uh-oh. Oh, I wasn't sure we'd get those. Oh, right, yellow mask. Yeah! That was a nice clang when she landed. You know, it actually does feel kind of backwards now that I think about it. It's like, people love Smash Ultimate seemingly just because of the new fighters. But then people don't like Smash 4 despite all the good fighters. It's like, what? Oh, so you need the game... So you're judging the game solely on what content is available, as in modes, not just what cool fighters it introduced. But then you're gonna praise Smash Ultimate basically just because it's the one that added Banjo. It's like, come on. And that's why I don't talk with Smash fans. No, but it's like, obviously I don't hate you if you're a big Smash fan. It's just like, if you're gonna be having that double standard, it's like, yeah, that's okay, fine. But more appropriately, it's like, that's why I tend to just not join communities just because I like that game, you know? I tend to not be in a particular game's community because you get fans like that. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. It's like I stopped following the Metroid Reddit. Well, partially because it's like sometimes stuff that shows up on the front page is just like, or my front page specifically, you know, that's supposed to be, you know, is a blend of all the subreddits I follow. It would be like, you know, just Metroid fan art. And it's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I don't need that showing up on my front page. But then it's also like, that was a time where I really didn't like Metroid Prime, so I was tired of people talking about that and, you know, dumping on other RAM. I don't remember if I was around for, was around on that subreddit for when Federation Force came out. I think by then I had left. I do remember being around for the Metroid Prime 4 announcement, though, and making a post about that. Like, man, why is it Metroid Prime 4? Why is it not a new 2D game? And then someone commented, like, no, they're making a remake of Samus 2, or of Metroid 2. Samus Returns. It's like, oh, well, I didn't see that part. That's cool. I look forward to that. And then the irony is, when the game revealed, well, maybe it's not ironic, but it's like at the time of the reveal, I didn't care. But so much time has passed between its reveal. You seriously got yourself again? So much time has passed between its reveal and actually coming out. We still don't even know more about it. But I've become a Metroid Prime fan in that time, so now, by the time they actually have a second major reveal for that game, I'm gonna care. So I don't know if that's ironic, but it's actually kind of beautiful how that worked out. Because now I can be excited about it. Come on. Maybe I shouldn't be using double glushers on someone who can fly. Now, I don't know if this is a move the professionals use, but that's something I think you could use, maybe lower level play, is using the ability to turn your mask into a pillar to freeze it so it doesn't change colors, and then you back off, you get a moment to breathe, and then you transform, or you put the mask on, and then the bayar, like a daddy homie. Yeah, figures. But maybe if I arc up. Arc up. No. Okay, stop doing that. You're gonna get hurt. Oh, here it comes. Oh, I was talking about me, but okay, headlock getting hurt. It's cool. Dang it. Well, at least I didn't get hurt either. Weirdly lucky. Okay, don't get cocky. Almost. Come on. Hut. What? There we go. Level 7 victory as Misango. And you know, now I feel like I said this before, but I'm starting to feel confident in the idea of getting level 7, you know, beating level 7 as every fighter. I think there is a badge for that. Maybe there's only one for beating level 4 as every fighter. But I could believe there being one for beating level 7 as everyone. So I might end up doing that after this. You know, I think I've taken probably the hardest ones to play as and beaten it on level 7 for this Let's Play, so... You know, I don't know if there's anyone... I forget if there's anyone I'm particularly, you know, personally bad as playing, like probably Twintel or any other evasive fighter. The spirited fighter, Misango! The power of the Misango was on his side today. Congratulations! But I like to think I've gotten through all the hardest ones, so... Except Twintel. I'm going to thank you on the Defense and Home. See you next time, folks! Man, I planned on recording more, and I was like, this has gone on so long, I don't know if I have the voice left to do it. My voice has been kind of easily tired. this past week. And there he is, having a nice dinner back at home in front of that temple Olmec face. And they're kind of. I think this is supposed to portray Biff being treated like a god, but I think it's just supposed to be hospitality, showing that the Misanga are very excited about having a guest, about having Biff as a guest. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.